With its geographic isolation, Hawaii became the home of many endemic species of birds as a few colonizers adapted to the local habitat and diversified. Unfortunately, with the advent of Pacific Islanders and then Europeans, Hawaii's native birds were heavily impacted and only a fraction remain today, with even those threatened with extinction. I have been able to view and photograph birds on the Big Island at three locales: the Hakalau Forest Preserve, the Kapukas or Forest Islands on the Pu'u'o'o Trail, and the Kapuka Iki area on the Mauna Loa Road. Many tourists may wonder why there is a concern about Hawaii's birds. There are birds everywhere at their hotel. What they don't realize is that all the birds they see are non-native. Just as with most of the flowers they admire, birds were brought to Hawaii in recent times, and many have flourished, such as this lovebird at a supermarket. The only native birds a tourist is likely to see are a golden plover, seasonal migrant from the north, on lawns, a soaring eo or Hawaiian hawk, and a Hawaiian duck. Pure ducks are rare, but most have hybridized with mallards. Several oceanic birds nest in Hawaii, such as the fairy terns in the trees in downtown Honolulu, but some of those species are endangered as well. Introduced weeds like this gorse and animals such as sheep and goats, not to mention very destructive feral pigs, have altered habitats so they no longer support endemic birds. Global warming trends are permitting mosquitoes carrying diseases such as avian malaria to reach ever higher elevations that currently shelter natives. The most important refuge for Hawaii's birds and rare native plants is the Hakalau Forest on Mauna Kea. Not open to the public, this is reclaimed ranch land planted with native koa and ohia trees. It hosts the Big Island Big Three of Apapani, Eevi, and Amakihi, as well as the island's rarest bird, the Akiapola'au. Accessible by foot from a parking area on the Saddle Road Highway is the Pu'u'o'o Trail, named for the extinct Hawaiian o'o. The trail is marked by rock cairns as it crosses older lava fields and kapukas until it reaches a fresher field of jagged a'a lava in a few miles. Apapani can be seen flying between the tops of ohia, and Eevi and Amakihi are present in the kapukas. Off-trail walking is treacherous, but sheep trails along the edge of the forest help. Apapani are the most commonly seen of Hawaii's endemic forest birds. They generally fly around the tops of ohia trees, feeding on nectar from the flowers as well as insects. They have slightly curved dark bills and red foreparts, with white underparts and black wings and tails. Very active birds, often in groups of 4 or 5. Spotting them in the treetops can be tricky. This one stretched a wing and then had a good scratch. A flock in treetops. Group of Apapani in flowering mamani. Sounds of the forest. EEV in the bush. Charismatic remaining sickle-belled honeycreepers. They spend more time at lower levels than the Apapani. They still don't sit for long. They can be seen chasing one another, apparently very territorial. EEV feeding on buds of Hawaiian blueberry. EEV also visit treetops. Amakihi are the third of the trio of the more commonly seen Big Island endemics. Oma'o aren't much to look at, but they have a wide range of calls and are more often heard than seen. These two may be juveniles. Piloberries are an Oma'o's favorite. the forest floor. Koa is an acacia that changes from typical acacia leaves to crescent-shaped modified stems as the tree grows. These function as leaves, but the reason for the change is debated. More sunlight to lower branches, rain capture to roots, less wind resistance that topples trees. The Hawaii creeper forages for insects on tree trunks. The elapao is a friendly little bird that looks like a wren but is actually a flycatcher, with long wing feathers for maneuverability and a sharp bill for plucking insects from the air. They seem to have territories and come to investigate anything in them. The Ikea polaau is the rarest bird on the Big Island, with an estimated fewer than 500 remaining. It is unique in the bird world for having evolved two different bills, the lower one short and stout for hammering holes in trees like a woodpecker, the upper one long, slender, and sickle-shaped to wrangle insects out of the holes. Two birds in one, only possible because real woodpeckers never reached Hawaii. This Aki appears to be a female. Parents feed their single offspring for more than a year, perhaps because it takes that long to learn how to use their bills. Maximum reproduction rate, one young every 2 years. An attractive introduced forest bird is the Kalij pheasant from the Himalayas. Small flocks roam like chickens. The Hawaiian goose, the nene, was the successful subject of a rescue program that increased their population to a sustainable level. Like their Canada goose relatives, they are grazers. The black pattern on their necks is actually furrows between rows of white feathers. Their name should probably be pronounced more like nuna, since that is the low sound they make as they walk. Hawaii had several species of flightless birds, including larger geese, but Polynesian settlement ended that. The Hawaiian hawk, or io, can be seen soaring over ranchlands and parks, and even the Walmart parking lot in Hilo. The Hawaiian short-eared owl, or pueo, is unusual for being active in the day. They can be seen on fence posts and power lines along the old saddle road.